This is Ticats Today.
This is Ticats Today for a Monday, August the 30th, 2021. Happy birthday to my dad. It is his birthday today, and I wanted to make sure I wished him a happy birthday. So, Dad, if you're listening, a happy birthday. This counts as a phone call for today. We got a great show coming up. Of course, this is our first ever Ticats Today, where we get to talk about a win because the Ticats were victorious 27-10 against the Montreal Alouettes on Friday night. A big win overall. Just dominated on all aspects of the game, and lots to get to break this one down. We're going to be joined by Coach John Salavantis, of course, Coach Sal, former offensive line coach for the Ticats, and a legendary broadcaster in his own right. He's going to be stopping by, get his thoughts on Friday night's game. In just a few moments here, we're going to hear from Frankie Williams. We'll hear from Sean Thomas Erlington and Dane Evans. Dane Evans had a quietly effective game, 15 of 22 for 183 yards and 2 touchdowns, but he got the job done. He got the win, and here's what he had to say after the game on Friday night.
It was a great team win, man. We knew it was going to be a physical game. Don't get it twisted. Montreal's a great team, man. I mean, we came here. We knew what our job was. It was a business trip. We treated it as such. It was a complete game. We got some turnovers. We didn't turn the ball over. We had still too many penalties. But, hey, we got the win. We'll be able to learn from it. It's a lot easier to learn when you win. And we're just happy and thankful to get this W. Yep. And that's why he was the Special Teams Player of the Year last year. And we need that from him. I know he's busting his butt over there on defense too. And he's a freaking great corner too. I mean, you saw that tonight.
Yeah.
But when he can do that, man, it gives us a shot in the arm, and we talk about it all the time. If we can get a short porch, we know we got points. We trust our kickers. We had a couple miss tonight. One was definitely a bad hold, completely my fault. But other than that, if we can get a short porch, we feel really confident we're going to be able to get some sort of points. And that's what happened. Yeah, exactly. We definitely, we try to get into a game with no sacks. Obviously, that's a goal. It's a lofty goal, but it's our goal. And that's what I was most proud of tonight. The O-line had their best week of practice, this week. Obviously, 6 sacks, you're like, what are you talking about with a good week? But exactly what you said. Nobody hung their head. It was a next play mentality. That's going to happen. Montreal's a great team. They have a great D-line. They get paid too. So there's players making plays, and I love how we responded to it. And exactly what you said, we were able to sprinkle in some run and pass. I thought Tommy was really, really good tonight. And, we got the W. Exactly. I mean, we talk about Ticat football all the time, and that's what it takes. I mean, we put a lot of time in on special teams during practice because we know how important it is to give us short porches for offense and also to give other teams long fields whenever that time comes up too. So it was just great, man. It was really nice to see everybody firing. And can't beat a W, you know what I mean? Especially after the start we had. It was tough, man. We played 2 great teams, and we played another great team tonight. So we knew it was going to be a physical game, and we were ready for it.
That is Dane Evans, quarterback for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, as he spoke after the Ticats' 27-10 win over the Alouettes. Of course, he had a good game. Sean Thomas Erlington had a great game as well, with a highlight that I'm sure will live in SportsCenter infamy for years to come, hurdling the Montreal defender for a big first down in the fourth quarter late. He would finish the drive with a big touchdown as well, and doing it all in front of his friends and family. The Montreal native spoke after the game. Here's what he had to say on Friday night.
Obviously, a bit like you were saying, like getting that monkey off our back feels pretty amazing. And the way we did it as a team, putting points on the board as an offense, it just felt great. It felt amazing. I think like a few drives back, when I hopped over the offensive line and defensive line, I think if I could have kept my feet, I could have maybe scored there. So I was thinking about how I sort of missed that score and getting the chance to get the ball again and putting it in the end zone to secure the game. That was great. It's amazing. We knew he had that in him. Just looking back at 2019, looking back at just the player he is really, and I think it was good on him too. I think he was eager to show that he still had it, and obviously give us a great field position today. I think our mindset was just set on the next play. Like whatever happened that same play, if it was a good play, a bad play, or just an average play, just had to how can I say that? Just come together and just focus on the next play coming. A sack is a sack. A tackle for loss is a tackle for loss. We just got to move on to the next play and make sure we take advantage of the plays that we can make on that following play. Absolutely. I feel like when on offense, you can distribute the ball in that way that basically everybody on the team, on the offense is a weapon. Well, it makes it easier for everybody, and then everybody gets to have some fun. Oh, it's going to be amazing. Just after the game, going back in the locker room with the music, everybody dancing, everybody was happy. Just like I told Steve, like getting that monkey off our back, knowing that you're a team that is capable of winning, it just takes that whole weight off our shoulders.
That is Sean Thomas Erlington after his 73-yard, one-touchdown performance. Great game from him as the Ticats victorious for the first time on Friday night. And, of course, he was our performer of the game on Tiger Cats post-game. Frankie Williams had himself one heck of a game on defense, on kick returns. First of all, the first kick return of the game, taking it 49 yards to set the Ticats up in just absolutely fantastic field position. He also had a 67-yard punt return. So he finished with a total of 184 return yards. And then, on defense, he also had a tackle. He had an interception that he took back for 39 yards, and he had a knockdown. So Frankie Williams was our performer of the game on Tiger Cats postgame. No argument there. Here's what he had to say after the big win.
I think the guys blocking did an impeccable job. I think our front did a great job. The back end had great eyes. We just kept working, and we finally got us a win. Things we harped on this week, just making sure we play top down, keep them bottled up. We know they're a big play offensive team. They got a great run game, so we just wanted to make sure we limit those things, and we did a pretty good job today. Came out with a win. I mean, it was important because it was our next game, but we've been taking things one day at a time, just make sure we be the best that we could be each day, make sure we do the little things, and then the rest will take care for itself. We started off slow, but we're starting to get it going now. Yeah, well, special teams, we've been struggling. We've been going slow. Coach been working on getting us started. And today, the guys did a great job blocking. We talk about catching the ones they throw you on defense, playing top down, lockdown, doing your job, plus more. That's really what it is, man. Just buying in and continuing to work and harp on the things that Coach wants us to get better on.
That is the 2019 Most Outstanding Special Teams Player, Frankie Williams, and he's making a case that he should win the award again. Great start to the season for him, and great performance on Friday night as the Ticats are victorious. Of course, we are 1 week away. 1 week away today of the Hamilton Tiger Cats returning to Tim Hortons Field, and I'm saying it with so much excitement in my voice because there is so much excitement, and it's 7 days from now. Of course, the stadium right now, as I'm looking at it, still decked out in the orange, but can't wait to see it decked out in black and gold, and can't wait to see fans here. Can't wait for the atmosphere, and I know I'll have goosebumps when that team runs onto the field. But make sure you're here. Go to ticats.ca, become a season seat member. Make sure you secure your ticket for next week's game. Lots of good to talk about when it comes to the victory for the Ticats, and I'm very pleased for the first time this season on Ticats Today to be joined by my friend, Coach Sal, John Salvantis. Coach, lots to take away, lots of positives after a win like that.
Well, it had to, Louie, because, when you're 0-2, you don't want to go 0-3 going into Labor Day. That's a no-no. And the fact that your offense had not been clicking. And then Evans comes into the ball game and excites the whole crowd of players, and things go good. The new guys, really showed up in this ball game.
People are going to look at this and say, well, oh, look, Dane Evans was in and they had a result. But it was so much more than that. And you talked about the new guys. Who do you want to start with? I mean, Stephen Dunbar Jr., they put him to work early, and he made an impact early on too.
Well, you and I had talked earlier about why Ackland was going into the slot position. And I thought at that time, it would give the more experienced guy the ability to play on the inside, which is more difficult. Yet he's closer to the quarterback, so that makes it easier for the quarterback. And then Dunbar comes in on the outside and starts making some big plays. So they must have had within their mindset that the big guy on the outside is going to make the deep routes and make the deeper plays. and Ackland would be used more as an underneath type player.
A good performance all around, but the offensive line did give up 6 sacks, but it seemed like for a group of people who hadn't played together in a real game, I don't know. It seems like we have something to build on with that offensive line. It looks like for the first time this season.
All right, you bring up a great point, because during the season, whenever you put a new offensive tackle, usually an American, into a ball game, it's an experiment. You don't know how he's going to play. Now, if you continue to do that, replace Tate with this guy, replace this guy with another guy, you're in that position all the time of experimenting at the tackle. You almost have to let things grow into a positional play. In other words, keep the guy on the field for the next ball game. Don't replace him and again go back to being inexperienced at tackle.
Especially with Van Zyl on the 6-game injured list, it looks like Jordan Murray really has a chance to take that right tackle spot, or right guard spot, and then make something out of it, because he looked good. He had one holding call, but he looked good. He's a big body, and like I said, there's something to build on there.
Well, I'm gonna go one step further with you. I think Okafor goes back to right tackle, and Murray goes to the left tackle. You're looking for a better left tackle. Okafor can play on the right side decent. On the left side, he has a lot of trouble with the speed rush. And therefore, the guard, Revenberg, is always coming out to help him on that side. I really think you've got to find a good, solid left tackle. And Murray may be the guy, we don't know. But if you don't put him over there, you'll never know.
Something to watch at practice this week for sure. Let's talk about defensively, because, they didn't have Jagara Davis. They're still without Dylan Wynn. But, that defensive line, they put some pressure on. They contained Vernon Adams Jr. They held William Stanback to I think his longest run was 9 yards. Lots of things to build on defensively after a game like that.
That was the best defensive game of the year. You're only 3 games in, but it was the best defensive effort of the year. And I thought it was a great coaching job of understanding what Stanback was doing in each of the positions in the backfield, whether he was in the pistol position or whether he was in the strong side or the weak side, what run was coming. And they were able to stuff those runs on him. Now, that made Adams a one-dimensional quarterback, which is what you're trying to do. Then they force him to play from the pocket, and you saw some of the throws that he made. He just was not the same guy without the ability to get to the outside and extend plays.
And I guess a part of that has got to go to just how well the secondary played. And you got Tunde Adeleke back. You got Carriel Brooks back. And that secondary with the pass knockdowns, I think they had about 4 or 5 pass knockdowns. We know that Frankie Williams had the interception. Again, a solid performance from the secondary. And like you said, to your point, defensively all around, the best performance we've seen this season.
Yeah, I thought the secondary played exceptionally well. You got Carriel Brooks coming into the ball game. You got Adeleke coming back at the free safety. They matched up well. Evans played exceptional, I thought, in the ball game. Had some knockdowns in that game, but had great cover. He was on his guy all the time in the covers. Williams is an exceptional player. I think you've got to start looking at Williams and say, we need him so desperately on the defensive secondary. We've got to give him some breaks in the special teams kick situations.
Yeah, and we saw that. We saw Speedy back there take some kicks. We saw Ungerer back there. Is that something you'd be watching at practice this week to see who's taking back kicks this week?
Yeah, and really the special teams made a big jump. Luke made an effort to talk about this when they were doing the football game, that special teams normally during a time off, the bye week, has the opportunity to make big leaps. And I thought they did that. I thought Reinbold's group on the cover, especially against a great return guy, did an exceptional job. So you got to look this week and see how are we going to place the special teams? Who's going to be the dominant downfield tackler on the kicks, and who's going to be the return guy that you can count on giving Williams some breaks?
And just one more before I let you go, Coach Sal. Next week, a week today, Labor Day Classic, Tim Hortons Field, getting to play in front of your home crowd. Obviously, a special time for these players and the coaching staff. When you think of Labor Day, what do you think of?
Well, Labor Day we've always talked about Labor Day as being the start of the season. That's when things get going. Well, this is a little different this year because it's only the 4th game of the season. It's not the 9th game of the season. So it's especially important that you dominate Toronto at Labor Day at home, because you're going to get a return to their place the very next week. And the worst thing that can happen on Labor Day is that you have a failure to dominate the team that you're playing, which is Toronto, and which all of the fans know, you can't lose to Toronto.
Well said. And not even the next week. I think it's the same week, right? A Monday game and a Friday game. It's going to be an interesting week of preparation. Coach Sal, great to see you. Great to connect. Looking forward to chatting with you much more throughout the season.
Thanks, Louie. I always look forward to talking with you.
That is Coach Sal. Always love catching up with him, and my thanks to him for stopping by. Of course, stay tuned to the Ticats Audio Network, because I believe very soon we're going to be launching a brand new podcast starring Coach Sal. So you're going to want to check that out. Just like you're going to want to check out all of our shows on the Ticats Audio Network. We got a jam-packed lineup this week. Of course, the CFL this week with Bubba O'Neill. New episode dropped today. Brody Lawson, Glenn Suter, and Steve Milton stopping by on that one, so go check it out. Tomorrow, the Coach O Show. Wednesday, Speaking with the Enemy. Thursday, Task and Twos. And Friday, Ticats This Week. And, of course, every day this week, you can listen to Ticats Today with myself right here, Louie B, on the Ticats Audio Network. One more time, big shout out to my dad. Happy birthday, Dad. It's a big one. It's a special one. And, of course, wouldn't be here without you. In many ways, but of course, happy birthday to my old man, Jim. Thanks for being there for me. Appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it as always, and make sure to join us tomorrow, same place, same time, for the Ticats Audio Network. I'm Louie B. Hoping you have a great day.